Hello Super Sentai fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at the Avataro Sentai Donbrothers Change Heroes Donbrothers team set. So this is really cool. So first of all, this is a continuation of the Change Hero series line of action figures that came out during Zenkaiger. So it's really cool to see this toy line exist for a second year in a row, just like the Gears are. But unlike last year, this time around, they have offered this special team set you can buy if you want to get the whole team in one go, which I did. So, of course, you can buy all 5 of these guys separately. You don't have to get them in the team set, and you're not missing out on anything by getting the team set over the individuals. The only thing that's not included in here is there is a Change Hero series figure out there right now for Zenkaiser Black. I did not pick that one up because I think that the Yudo figure of Zenkaiser Black actually looks preferable and more show accurate than his Change Hero version, so I skipped it. But I do have here the entire Donbrothers team set, and this box is very nice. So you have this really beautiful shot of all 5 of the Donbrothers team. On the top, you have all 5 of them there again, and just kind of the Change Hero series logo. You get all 5 of them there on the side. That looks really cool. On the other side, you basically get the exact same image. On the bottom, you get basically the same image as the top, so nothing too crazy there. Yeah, I think it's the same. And then on the back, you get kind of just a little look at all of them here. And it's really strange. They really avoided giving you, like, actual promo shots of these guys. These are all still CGI renders of the product. Obviously, the product exists. It's here. But, you know, it's kind of strange that they waited so long to do that. So obviously you get DonMomotaro, KijiBrother, SaruBrother, OniSister, and InuBrother. You get the whole team. And what's interesting about this as well is that we've already had DonMomotaro released for a pretty good amount of time because he came out at the same time that the Enya Ride-On came out. So you had a figure for him to, actually be on the bike and everything. It's the same exact figure as the one that came out a couple months ago. That was just his standalone release, and the 4 of them are the brand new standalone releases. And then, of course, they package it to him in the box. I have been hearing, though, that the new version in this set has like pegs on the bottom of his feet. Well, there's like slits on the bottom of his feet in the original version. I didn't know that there was like that slight difference. It's very kind of strange, but here we go. We got the whole team here, and these are going to all get Yudo figures in the summer. Around May is when set 1's going to come out, and I'm probably putting a picture of it up right now. Those are going to have stickers. These are painted, but there are some benefits there, especially that 9th box that comes with a little bit better articulated InuBrother, a bunch of Dawn Blasters for everybody, and some swappable hands and everything. So I'm going to be picking up box 9 of that set and box 10 to also have Zenkaiser Black. Although the Yudo figures do not give you the weapons for InuBrother and OniSister, and the Yudo does give you a different wing option for KijiBrother. So it depends on what you want to do, but I think Change Heroes with a little bit of Yudo is my way of doing it. So this is empty. I've already opened this up in my kind of unboxing live stream that I posted yesterday, and I've already done my video review of the Dawn Blaster, which I posted yesterday. So let's go take a look at these figures. Alright, so here are all the figures out of the box here, and they look really good. So definitely wacky, because this is a very strange Sentai team. Of course, you have a bunch of different looking Rangers on this team, but this is everything you get in the box. You have a little bit of assembly required in just KijiBrother's wings. Now, the only figure who has like no accessories at all is SaruBrother. He just doesn't have anything. Everybody else has at least a weapon or at least the wings or something. So that's a little weird. I mean, I kind of get it. He's kind of a beefier figure. It is still kind of odd to me, and I get it because that's just what they do. They have the base price, but all of these cost the same individually. Like, these are all $13 a piece, and I definitely think some of them are a little bit more worth it than the other ones. But I get it. Like, obviously, like, while this one has the kind of weird factor in the wings, this one's kind of bigger head, and it's kind of mixes in there somewhere. But I do think that these look really great, especially if you collected the Change Heroes from last year, which here is the Change Hero series figure of Zenkaiser from last year with one of the hands from the Yudo figure, because those are compatible. And of course, he looks really good next to DonMomotaro. So I really like that we can finally do that. And it's going to be great when I actually have a figure of Zenkaiser Black. I am very, very much looking forward to that. Of course, you also have 2 Kaiser that you can compare him to. So there's that one from last year. And of course, it does scale with Yudo. So here's another fellow Red Ranger. Here's Zenkai Red from the Yudo line. So that does work. They're the same figure scale and everything. So that's always welcome and really cool. Now, for some reason, this DonMomotaro figure, or just the DonMomotaro figure in general, has very loose legs, which is kind of annoying. I don't really get it. Like, his legs are just pretty loose, and it always kind of feels like he's going to have some trouble standing. Like, you know, he kind of just slipped there. But, I mean, the figure itself, it's very nicely detailed. We'll take a look at him here in good detail. He has a little hole in his head, which is whatever. But you have the nice pink, kind of sort of metallic paint on his head. You have nice paint details on the buckle. The buckle looks perfect. The chest decals and everything. Yeah, it looks great. I just wish that his legs were a little bit more sturdy. His hands are the same as the Change Hero and the Yudo, so you can swap them. And when we get the Yudo swappable hand box, that will also work with this. So you can get the Yudo and it will work if you can get the hand back into his wrist. There we go. So there is that. Now he does come with a Dawn Blaster, which is just done up in red plastic, but it's sculpted well enough. You can see where the gear would go and the little, you know, dial and everything. So that will fit very nicely into his right hand. So there we go. Oop. It's kind of like a sharp point at the end of there, so every time I stick it through the hand, I kind of like poke myself in the finger. But of course, articulation-wise, you have a very good head joint. These can all come apart in a bunch of different places too. Like they can come apart at the waist, like that, and stuff. If you really wanted to swap them around, you could. You have nice waist articulation because of that. It's kind of on a bit of a ratchet. You have some bending there, movement there, all over the place, so they can rotate there. They can bend there. You have the feet on the ball joint. The arms can move all the way around. The shoulder pads get out of the way very nicely. They can rotate there and bend at the elbow. And they have a ball jointed hand. And that's basically it. That's kind of a, you know, a very simple figure, but it's still a really nice figure. And I'm just happy that we have Sentai action figures that are in the same scale, that have continued for at least 2 years, and the whole team at one time. So next up, I'm going to go and take a look at SaruBrother, who his kind of special thing about his suit is that it's bigger, it's bulkier, it has some of those fur decals or details, which of course are not really fur here, they're just molded plastic, but you get the point across. I think you get the detail. He has a red painted butt, so they definitely made sure to keep that in the figure, so I do appreciate that. His articulation's the same, but obviously his joints are a little thicker, they're a little kind of harder to move, they're a little more stiffer, I suppose, which kind of makes sense, but he still has the same level of articulation as everybody else. He just doesn't have any weapons. You're just going to kind of have him posed like, you know, about to, I don't know, punch somebody or something. But you can, there we go. Can we get him to balance? There we go. So you can get him to balance in kind of a, like a tack pose or kind of like a pouncing pose or something. So that is fun. They really did paint his butt red. They really did that. So that is a thing. And he looks great. We'll put him back there, maybe. Yep, he'll stand. Next up, we have kind of the protagonist of the series, at least from the first episode's point of view. We have OniSister, the only female on the team, so obviously she has a little bit of a different kind of female body mold, which is also kind of brand new for Change Heroes, because we did have one female figure last year with Zenkai Majin, but obviously Zenkai Majin was a little different because she had to have the whole transformation into the dragon and everything, and all the armored pieces. So this is kind of our first, like, female Change Hero figure. Or pretty much it is. Like, there wasn't one in the Yudo line or anything like that. So you can definitely see that the mold is very similar. You know, it's just a little thinner. It's a little skinnier, as, you know, you would expect on a kind of female figure. Mine has a tiny little, like, paint scratch on the chest there for some reason. But articulation-wise, it's all the exact same as, like, DonMomotaro and everybody else. But you do have the skirt pieces there that can break into a bunch of different sections to allow for any kind of articulation you'd want. It has 4 different little flap sections, so it doesn't limit the articulation. It kind of just jingles around. But yeah, so that's very good. I'm happy that there's nothing limiting that. Her kind of suit feature is these spikes on her shoulders, and also the kind of the spiky-ish pieces of the helmet, but mainly kind of the shoulders, which is definitely not that big of a difference between like a regular kind of Sentai suit. So her and DonMomotaro are kind of like the most normal of, like, you know, typical Ranger suits. She does come with this giant, like, club weapon, which is very nicely sculpted on one side. It's extremely hollow on the other one, obviously, but you can, I don't think this has a name or anything, but you can just slide this into her hand, and she can hold it just fine. It might get a little top-heavy at some points, but it's perfectly good. So there is OniSister. And I was trying to take a look at the weirdest ones, so we'll start with KijiBrother, which, yep, so very, very strange Ranger design. But I've kind of grown to love it in a physical format. I think that the CGI for Kiji and InuBrother is absolutely atrocious, but I do like the idea of this, and I think this figure is hilarious. I really, really like this figure a lot. this just tall Slenderman dude. He's actually too small in comparison. Like, he should be probably up to, like, you can't even see my hand, but probably like at least another, I would say, like, if you put InuBrother on top of this, you would have the height he kind of should be based off of how he is in the show. But they did their best. Obviously he does stand a little taller than the regular Change Hero figure. He just definitely should be a little bit more taller than this. But he's very strange. Obviously he is a completely unique mold. There's nothing about him that's reused from anybody else. He has this very thin body mold with the legs and everything. You do have some knee articulation and everything. I am just a little scared about the knees because of how thin they are. Like, I don't want to snap the joint. It should be safe. I just would be careful. But you still have the waist articulation. You still have all the arm articulation. Same kind of thing. I'd be nervous about the bending of it all of the time. The head still moves and everything. So I'm happy that you have all the articulation for such a figure that is very strange. You still even have the ball jointed feet. They just kind of start up there now. So that's interesting. But yeah, this is a design. This is certainly a Sentai design. I don't really know how many poses you can get him into. You can get him in some kind of weird pose like that. He does have his wings, which you do have to attach, which I believe you just attach using these ball joints back here. But I do want to be careful not to break the joints because they are kind of stiff. So like, it's going to take some effort. So give me 1 second. So there we go. We have the wings attached now. So those look nice. You can kind of have them fold down if you like to have them folded down, or of course you can have them as wide up as you want, and they look wonderful. So that is KijiBrother. That's all he has. His accessory is just the wings. So you can kind of just have him be strange in the background. So there he is. And then finally, we have InuBrother, another one of the very strange figures. It's not bad. It's pretty good. You have the kind of the same thing I would worry about with KijiBrother, where you just have some very thin joints that aren't movable. Like, you have a ball jointed hand, and you can... Oh, there goes his hand, actually. That sometimes happens. The hand just pops off. Let me get that back on there. But yeah, so very kind of loose hand, but you sort of have... It's not. I guess it's not really a ball joint. It kind of just rotates on that joint there. I do believe, yeah, you have ball jointed feet. The legs kind of can move. Yeah, no, I mean, they can. They just can't bend at the knee or anything like that. You can still have it rotate at the waist. It's just a little tougher. It's a little bit more of a stiffer joint. And then you do have a ball jointed head. Very, very nice head. I think it looks very good for the paint detail. I mean, the paint detail on all of these is really good. But I do believe that the Yudo one, I think, has elbow joints, I think. I know there's a little bit... there goes the hand again. I think that there is a little bit better joints on the Yudo version compared to this Change Hero one. But it's still not bad. It's going to get what you want out of it. And then you get this like shuriken kind of pinwheel weapon thing that you can give to him. And of course his hand unbanged again. I knew that was going to happen. There we go. So you can have him hold that thing and do whatever he does with it. If he throws it or whatever, it has a very nice painted Donbrothers logo. And that is, if I can get him to stand... That is the Donbrothers team of Change Hero figures. So definitely an interesting Sentai group here, but I like all these figures a lot. I can highly recommend them as I move the camera up a tad to get the whole team in there. But yeah, they're great. Of course, if you have the Enya Ride-On, you can finally... I mean, you could have had anybody ride this, but if you have the Enya Ride-On, you can put DonMomotaro on there and have him ride his mecha. So that is pretty cool. Oh, I almost had it. Have him peg his hand in there, and then you can kind of have him sit back and sort of look up and everything. So that looks great. So you can put them on the Enya Ride-On. You can have the team pose however you want. Of course, they look great when you pose them with Zenkaigers. So like there's Zenkaiser there. Who else we got? We got Jiram. We'll just put him back there. You know, kind of our main people that are back. And I guess Tukaiser. I have a feeling Tukaiser is going to come back as well, just based off of some toy listings and everything. So we'll put Tukaiser back there. But yeah, this is really fun. You can barely see InuBrother at this point, but he's back there. But yeah, so this is the Change Hero set for Donbrothers. Like I said, I can highly recommend it. I think it's perfectly good if you get this or if you get the individual ones. You could wait for the Yudo. The Yudo is cheaper, and like I said, might be better in some areas, but if you really don't want to mess with the stickers and you just want these figures to be fully painted, Change Hero is going to be the way to go, besides, you know, maybe Zenkaiser Black, since he's more accurate in the Yudo. and also because of all the hands and weapon options and everything. But yeah, that's all I got for my video review here of the Change Heroes Donbrothers Team Pack. Like I said, of course, you can check out other Donbrothers related videos on the channel, like my Don Blaster video and unboxing videos from yesterday. And there'll be a lot more Donbrothers stuff here because Change Heroes is kind of the mecha line for this year as well, because all of the alters are considered part of the Change Hero line, and I have those on the way as well, so we'll take a look at those when they show up. But yeah, until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR, and until then, Don, I think is how we're going to end Donbrothers stuff. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll kind of just see how it goes with all these videos, but see you all next time.